Hello, and welcome to Twenties Aplenty. In this week's episode of the Headhunter Chronicles, the group head out into the desert to meet Korsk's people. If you enjoy the session, please remember to like and subscribe.
We travel and roll, our intentions are good. Maybe. We fight, at times polite. It's DnD.
So, when last we set off, the group had just said goodbye to Varric's sister and they'd gone back to bed. Once they were finished, they had a discussion about what to do next. Having been recognised as there being a Kobold in the party that undertook the raid on the barracks in the Fist, Korsk was a bit worried that his tribespeople might get embroiled in, or blamed at least, in the investigation. So he was eager to try and track down his tribe. They also had a bit of a conversation about different ways of getting to Axemouth to recover the airship and rescue the crew. Either way, there was no way Varric, as he was Miran's son, was going to get into Axemouth without some sort of disguise. The group recalled that Miran had, as part of Varric's spying mission, had recommended he go and obtain some sort of procedure to transform him to hide his true Dragonborn form. So in the end, Korsk, Lucy, and Cleo headed towards the Mercenaries Guild, and the rest of the group, Varric, Amanita, and Marcus, would head towards the house in the wall's shade that Miran had pointed them in the direction of. Cut a long story short, the group that went to the house discovered an old crystal Dragonborn who swore a lot, and he reluctantly agreed to do the procedure on Varric, as Amanita tidied his messy house up, throwing buckets of feces out the window and tidying up rotten food with flies everywhere, scraping the baked beans off the wall. And Varric initially had refused to pay the 10,000 gold pieces, offering 150, but once he realised Fenkar had lost his leg in the first such attempt at such an operation, which was on a young Dragonborn girl, he agreed he would pay the 10,000, but didn't have it on him, so left a personal item, his knife, and a scale. Fenkar strapped Varric to the bed, apologised, saying it was going to hurt, and then hit him over the head with a hammer, knocking him out. He then lit a brazier with some herbs and began to hack his leg off with a hacksaw. He used what was in the brazier to cauterise the wound and then began work on Varric, transforming him into Vorak the dwarf, Vorak Scaleaxe. In the end, they left a much tidier house, thanks to Amanita's hard work, and headed back to the Dragon's Claws. Meanwhile, Korsk and Lucy and Cleo, Korsk as a camel, headed towards the Mercenaries Guild. They went in, they noticed a dragon. There was a couple of half-orcs playing a knife game in one corner. The air was thick with smoke. There was a self-service bar. and a big notice board with lots of notices on, advertising for work. Upon hearing the door go and the little bell ring, a black dragonborn, short, fat dragonborn man with what looked like some sort of skin complaint. He was missing quite a lot of his scales on his face. Came out of the door, talking, apologising to the people that were sat in the office that he'd just come out of. Korsk, who had transformed into his own form again, made out that they were part of a band of merchants and were looking to recover some items stolen by a rival organisation. He specifically said he was interested in a group of people that were quite wily and were quite good at such jobs, and had been hunting out deserters. After initially looking at him blankly, the gentleman realised that Darren, they called him, Darren realised that he was talking about the kobolds. He indicated that he'd be able to find them and would happily do so for a 20% finder's fee. Meanwhile, Lucy pretended he needed a toilet. Lucy, who was disguised as a dragonborn in like hemp clothing, ignored the directions he was given and walked straight into the office that Darren had just come out of. Lo and behold, sat there 5 kobold. Korsk walked into the office and instantly recognised a lady called Heck, who was one of his cousin's lieutenants, his cousin being the leader of the tribe. Eventually, Korsk turned back into himself and warned Heck about the incoming trouble that they may face. During their initial engagement, she welcomed Korsk as a deserter of their own, and that they'd made a vow not to hurt him. Sanek, Korsk's cousin, had ordered them not to. As part of that exchange, Heck noted that Korsk being allowed to leave the tribe was Sanek's first sign of madness, and revealed that following a experience in the forest when he was out hunting, where he laid eyes upon what he termed a blue-eyed god, Sanek had become more of a pacifist, stopped the raids that the tribe did, and ordered them to lay down their weapons, not even hunt. Instead, they would forage, eat berries. A number of the kobolds left the tribe. Heck and her followers, still formerly part of the tribe, has moved south in search of work to earn gold for the tribe, out of the eyes of Sanek and his cronies, so they can go back to their old ways and earn gold in the way in which they're skilled. He invited Korsk to come and visit them at their camp a few miles west of the Sands Gate. They then bid him farewell. Korsk paid his 240 gold pieces to Tarn, and then they left, heading towards Dragonsclaw. On their way, they decided that they would try and scout out Sandsbreak Port to see if there was any ships worth stowing away on, but when they talked to people, they realised that none were heading straight for Axmouth. They headed back to the Dragon's Claws and had a drink, waiting for the others to arrive, and eventually they did. They were amazed by Varric's new abundance of hair. During the discussion, when Varric was informing the group of what was going on, Marcus piped up the point when Varric was saying that this was the second time that Fenkar had undertaken that particular procedure. And the first time, the result had been a human-looking dragonborn girl with rainbow hair. He asked Lucy if that sounded familiar. And after scratching his head a bit, Lucy recognised that it was indeed familiar. It sounded like Meldry, the original member of the group, who is now deceased. Varric theorised that perhaps Meldry was actually some relation to Harmony, noting that Harmony was one half of the twins and that his sister had gone missing. They then turned to Amanita and started questioning her about her new look. Amanita revealed that it seemed to be linked to whenever she used her frost magic, ice magic, and that as she got more powerful and used more powerful spells of that nature, the effect seemed to widen and last for longer. She did add that sweet, innocent, kind Amanita should be considered as being in hibernation during the times in which the more, as Lucy put it, posher but frostier Amanita is about. Lucy asked her a few questions about a book, and she commented that actually it's just a book that I keep records in. And roughly that is where we kick off. So it is probably about 11:30 in the evening now. What would you like to do?
Just to check, I think we only got a short rest in last time, right?
Yeah, you'd slept over the night, hadn't you? And you woke at 1:30. I don't think you've necessarily had a rest since then. But it's the end of the adventuring day, so I'd assume you can have another long rest.
Well, don't we have to go do that stuff for your family? Don't we have to go do that stuff for your family, Korsk?
Just getting used to new voice power. Yes, on that note, did you manage to secure us any help with stowing away on one of the ships?
No, I forgot to. I meant to go do it, but this process took the whole day. So I probably should have done it first, but I didn't. So once we wrap up stuff with your family, I'll go see my friend and see what he says as well.
So I must admit I don't like the situation. This side of the tribe has never really respected me that much, and yet we're going to have to go crawling to them for help.
Oh, we might not. Just, we may need your help later.
Mm. So, how are we doing this then as a group? Are we cards on the table, or are we being non-committal? So I have a feeling they won't have much patience for the latter. And also, if we do need their help, how are we going to pay for it?
Well, I don't know. If your family's actually in runs with the city at the minute, is it a good idea to go for them to help?
Well, we're more on each other's side than we ever were on the side of the buyer. It's that much.
Mm.
But I would say that I know enough of the warriors in that group that they would probably be prepared to help us out, with some caveats. It's Heck that I'm worried about.
Right. Well, I'm sure we'll be able to deal with them as it comes up. If all you gotta do is say, jump them, and we'll probably jump them, so it's fine.
I know, it's just ensuring that we don't get jumped first. remember that's the way my people like to fight.
Yeah.
Take every advantage you can get and make it work for you.
Well, I'll leave that call up to you, I guess. It's it's your family, your call.
All right then. Guess we're not gonna get anywhere sitting around talking about it any longer. Let's get started. And he hoists his bag and satchel and walks out the door.
Wait, just before you go, I run up to the bar. Can I have a refill in this whiskey of this in here, please? Thanks.
And the bar lady kind of takes the flask off you, recognizes it as Varric's, looks at you, looks at the flask. Is something funny going on here?
Nope. I promise you that is my flask. 100%.
I thought this belonged to the Dragonborn chap you were with.
Of course, that's me.
Is this some sort of spell or something you've got on?
Sort of. Look, I'll prove it, and I just blur out, like, perfect draconic to you.
She starts talking back to you in Draconic. Impressive. She looks at you going, you know, I wouldn't have been able to tell that wasn't actually you. Anyway, and she goes and gets you a drink. It's a silver piece, I think, to fill it up if you want.
I'm paying for the nice, fancy blend stuff. I think that was like the 20 gold, wasn't it?
20 gold one.
So I'll put that down.
Okay.
Because I'm pretty sure.
Wow, thank you for your custom.
All right, I'm just glad you're not being wholehearted racist toward me yet. I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of other reactions down the line.
Yeah, just make sure you keep down that hair, love. Don't want the grey to turn white or anything. They have a completely different reaction if you just let it grow grey.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, see ya. I could grab a flask and run out the door.
So Korski's going to use his spell refueling ring. His spell refueling ring, and put alter self on himself.
Okay.
And he's just going to assume the same form he had when he was at the Mercenaries Guild with Lucy. I assume Lucy does the same disguise self, so we just look like down on their luck Dragonborn brothers.
Yeah. So you do this in the hallway, and then you go out.
Do I need a disguise?
I don't think so, Amanita.
I think so.
Yep.
I think the Marcus probably would. So he'll be, I'm assuming you'll shrink him and put him in a pocket somewhere.
Fair enough.
Tiny Marcus, or we could do Rat Marcus. That's easier.
I can't do that anymore.
No more Rat Marcuses then.
I was gonna say to quote Charlie, why not both?
Tiny Rat Marcus.
Shrink him. Turn him Rat Marcus and shrink him.
Cool. So you head out. While you're walking along, Cleo's got his head up, turns and says, "How do you suppose we get out of the gate?"
Oh. They're locked, aren't they?
Well, They seem to be searching for particular band of non-dragonborn.
Yeah, but we don't have any of the necessary party involved in that escapade, so it's fine. As it stands, there are 2 dragonborn gentlemen at the front, myself, Amanita, and yourself, Bill. And a tiny rat. No, not a tiny rat. A shrunken Marcus who's hiding on Amanita, but he's in her pocket, so it'll be fine.
Very well. This whole thing makes me nervous, though.
Yeah.
I suppose we could use the story of the merchant caravan again, but they may stop us anyway. We need something suitably urgent if we're going to talk our way past them. Either that or a little trickery.
Well, we could just be honest and go and say we're giving details over to the mercenaries camping outside the walls. There's nothing wrong with that.
Unless they know they're kobolds, which they will. Although, did I hear you say you said you were artists?
Oh, no, merchants.
Merchants, okay.
We could be artists and going to paint a scenic view over the countryside.
As is nice.
I thought you were going to suggest we paint the guards. I was going to say, I didn't think they were that vain.
I'm not sure they'd like it if you painted them.
Unless they're higher ranking. I mean, I know some of my generals had a big portrait of themselves in their fancy dress. That was...
Oh, you mean paint the picture of them? I thought you meant actually paint them.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
So, we are artists, and we are going to paint the sunrise over the sand dunes. But we need to get the best location. Maybe we could even ask them where they thought that would be.
That would make us convincing.
I suppose I could pass off some of my alchemy supplies as painting materials.
That would be more convincing.
Lucy might have some bits in his pants.
Lucy, what do you have in your pants?
What doesn't he have in the pants?
I'll have a look.
If he still has those bed sheets, we could use them as canvas.
Maybe it is going to be like a painted set of curtains or a tapestry.
Yeah, a tapestry. Oh, they're woven usually, though, aren't they?
Dragonsclaw tapestry has a ring to it.
Yeah. We could paint the location to build the tapestry off of, so we don't need to keep looking at it.
Interesting.
And the reason we're using a bed sheet is to get the idea of the size.
This plan feels like it's going to unravel very quickly.
All our plans unravel very quickly. It's just a matter of when.
Just
It'll
don't
be fine.
pull on the loose thread. Especially on the bed sheet. So you walk up to the gate. There are about 12 guards still on this side. Now then, where do you think you guys are going at this time?
Well, my good friend, these two fine gentlemen here are my employers, and we happen to be a group of artists going to paint the sunrise.
That scenic view of the rays glancing off the city of Dragonsclaw. Paint it in its proper glory, and then sell that image to the world.
Interesting. But sunrise isn't for 3 hours. What are you doing now?
We're getting the moonlight in as a placeholder.
We're also going to use some of this time to try and find the best location that we can view the city as the sunrise comes up from. If you happen to know a spot, that'd be great.
Maybe I do. For the right price. You see, you've already said you're going to sell this for some money. Maybe show me a bit of the action.
That's up to my employer over here. I'll let you take it away.
Would save you hours of wandering around the desert. Could even miss the sunrise.
Are there several places you know as well?
Are there what, sorry?
Is there one particular place you're thinking of, or could you suggest a few more on top of that?
Might be.
Because
There's a particular place I'm thinking of.
I would say, as an opening offer for the information, my man, let's lead with... How does 40 gold pieces do you? It's 2 lots of excellent drink at the Dragonsclaws, you know.
I don't need to sleep. I'm not going there and talking to those lawyers. How about 60?
55.
I could do a deal at 55. Okay. What you want to do is 2 hours good march to west of here. What you'll see is you'll see the beginning of a hill start to form. Now head left, go down. We can go right up the hill. Head up the hill. Go around the outside. Almost fully all the way around. Follow the path. And you come to a cliff. Edge of that cliff. You might want to scare a few birds off there, though. Once you're at the edge of the cliff, you get a good view of the city.
Wonderful.
Go right, mind. There's a little bit before you get that. There's a hill off to the left. Don't head down that way, though. There's Some funny goings on down that way.
Well, how bad could it be? It's right outside the city limits.
It's a good few miles away, but tell there's some sort of beast out there.
I see. We'll be careful then.
Yeah.
We've got some
Also, watch out for kobold raiders. There's a camp out there. What they don't know though is it's right by where the beast is supposed to nest.
Is it now?
Indeed. Don't think they've come across it yet though.
That would be extremely, extremely bad for them, of course.
Well, let's just say they won't see it coming.
Do you happen to know what this beast is? We tend to paint a lot of creatures as well, but we could get an idea. We might be able to work it in somewhere with our reference pictures.
Well, all I've got to say is if you see the sand starting to whip up off the ground, start to worry. I don't think anybody's ever seen it, but legend is it appears in a sandstorm and tears people right up off the ground. And all you find the next day is their bits torn into little pieces. Hand here, foot there. I would just be careful if I were you. But still, that's only if you turn down that direction. Just keep going. Don't go up the hill on the left. Go around the one on the right. A bit further on.
Of course. We thank you for the information.
Indeed. And if you see the kobolds, stay clear, yeah? They've quite a number. Your friend here isn't gonna be able to find them off, so you're better off running. And you were in employment in the city, but I think they shit on that one. Still, have a safe journey.
Yes.
And he nods to his right-hand man, takes 55 gold off you, and his men start to open up the gate and let you through.
Course leans over and whispers to Varric. I was afraid this was going to happen. And as I expected, there was a backlash.
Yeah, but
The Mercenaries Guild might employ them still, but if they're forced to make a living in the desert, I don't know how they're going to adapt to this. It's far more barren than the Science Spy, even at its depths.
why wouldn't they just head home?
There was a rift in the tribe after I left, and Sonic found his god. I'm not certain they'll reconcile easily, especially with Heck leading the proceedings.
Well, this Heck character sounds a bit like a pain in the ass, if you ask me, so why don't we just...
Oh, she is. Absolutely. There's always been a bit of a kiss-ass to my cousin as well, but of course she's lost respect for him now that he's not keeping killing on the agenda.
But if they're at the forefront of this whole your cousin, why not just get rid of them?
In the middle of... She's not the kind of person who's going to let herself get caught out. If she does take us on, it will be with the rest of the tribe to support her. and I'd rather avoid a bloodbath if possible.
Alright.
Remember, we need to help at the end of the day, and whatever they've done, a couple of them are okay at the end of the day.
Well, maybe we can use that beast that's roaming around as leverage as well, for instead of having to pay up.
They would appreciate that, certain.
Favor for a favor kind of thing, you know.
Certainly, we are feeling lighter in pocket after these different charges going through gates and talking to the Mercenaries Guild.
Yeah, it's gold does not come easy in this country. I can tell you that as a fact.
Neither does transport.
Well,
The
yeah.
government confiscating all of it.
That is too true. Anyway, let's try and head across. I can't seem to see the hill he's on about.
I've got the directions down here. We just follow it to the letter, see where it takes us. Hope he didn't give us a false lead just to screw us over.
Yeah, that would be really annoying. There's a lot of gold for just a false lead if it is.
Well, he wasn't going to let us through the gate without questions otherwise, so the money helped in that respect.
So, you head west. It is dry, slightly cool, but barely any wind. Through the sand, it's relatively slow going. Probably moving about half the pace you normally would. After an hour, you can see the lights of the city behind you, glowing. After an hour and a half, you come to a hill on the left. The path forks. You can either go straight on, or you can go off to the left up the hill.
I believe he said take the path that winds around the hill. Right?
Take it to the cliff, yeah, but if we're trying to head just straight to your kinsman, then
No, we need to get some intel on stuff first. If we're going to barter it with them, we can't just turn up and say that there's a problem.
alright, yeah, I guess.
In any event, don't worry about them. I have a means of contacting them. And he pats looks like a very worn and it's a very worn wooden flute. Occasional splinters of age coming off it.
And what about if we bump into this so-called monster? And then
And then makes things a little more complicated. I would suggest we try to disengage. But
that'd be an idea.
without knowing exactly what it is.
You've got to convince Lucy to do that, though.
Very true. I'd forgotten how Lucy can get in trouble.
Lucy would just be like, wait, what? What did you say?
Lucy, we're just discussing how to approach the monster. We have to take a rather roundabout approach that will involve you staying as far in the back as possible and covering us.
Nah, we just charge right in.
From what it's been described, it will just carry us up in that case. We need to be able to use your magical abilities at range. You'll get plenty of times to blast it, I can promise you that. Varric, any input? Or Varrock? Is it now?
Yeah, Varrock, I guess. It'll take a while for me to get used to that. Ugh. Yeah, I would say we don't run straight at it. If it's good at picking people up and taking them apart, then we don't want to do that. So I suggest we run first and then kill it. Well, after we tell your kinsman that is.
Sorry, what?
Well, so we run away from it, we disengage, we hide, and then we go tell your kinsman that this is a problem and that it needs to be resolved and they should be concerned about it. And if they're willing to do us a favor, we could kill it and do them the favor of getting rid of it for them. And then that's the problem. What we don't want to do is run away from it and bring it to them.
Yes, of course. Alright, let's start tracking this thing down then.
So what you're doing? You heading straight on and up the other hill.
Yeah, we're following the directions up to the point where the path forks, and you have the if I remember correctly, it's like there's a path that takes you to the cliff. There's one that takes you to the camp, which is going straight down the valley, and then there's one that takes you to the monster, which is going up the nearby crest.
So there's only two. So you can either go up the hill to the left, and that will take you down to the camp eventually. And also that is the territory of the monster, of the beast. Or you can go straight on, which then takes you up another hill and onto the cliff.
Does the cliff overlook the... would the cliff be overlooking... my language today. Would the cliff be overlooking the camp and the monster's territory?
No, you will be able to partway round to the cliff. From the hill, you will be able to see where the camp would be, you would guess.
I suppose we'll take the direct route to the beast territory then.
Okay. So you begin to walk. As you do, begin to feel chill breeze in the air. Sand begins to whip up off the ground. Especially cold. Walk a bit further, and you can see in the distance. After a while, you head up to the top of the hill. You see in the distance, you can see the torchlight of where you think the camp is. It looks a few miles away. So you start heading down. And as you do, the torchlight of the camp begins to fade as you head down the hill. One or two individual torches just seem to go out. You can still see a general glow as you head towards the camp itself. It's like you're at the top of the hill, you can see it, and then you come down and it sinks below the horizon type thing, or behind the sand dunes and things. You continue to head round and round. Eventually, you decide to go off the path and up a big sand dune to look across to see if you can see the village again. And you notice there's only a couple of torches lit now.
So, of course, we'll take the flute I mentioned earlier and give a quick trill on it. It's clearly in the sound of a forest bird, so it's not very appropriate, but it's the kind of signal that would be recognised as kind of like flagging your position, so they know that we're coming. And you'll listen out for any response.
There is no response that you can hear.
It's unusual. He gives another trill for it's the request orders one.
No response. You see. Go on.
I was just going to say, Lucy looks at Korsk and goes, "Have a go."
No, Lucy, you'll confuse them.
Oh.
I'll give you a play on it when we're back in the tavern. And it gives that call again. Takes a bit of fine motor skill to get this to work.
There's two things that happen. One of the two torches you can see in the village goes out. Just kind of seems to flicker in the wind and then goes out. And then you feel the rush of air, like a strong gust of wind, warm in your direction. Picks up quite a lot of dust, and then it fades back to nothing, and dust just kind of settles.
Something's not right here. You should have responded to us by now. I think we may need to cut the beast recon short for we need to get in there now.
Yeah. I think that's a good idea.
Amanita, that skill you have for allowing us to walk quietly, can you do it again?
I can certainly try. Okay. Yes.
Cool.
Everyone, form up behind me. I'll go in first. And I'll also walk about 10 paces in front as we begin to near the camp. It's important they see me first. As the only actual member of our group they've seen up until this point with me is Lucy. I suspect as well there's some kind of disturbance in the camp itself, otherwise they would have replied to us at this point. I'll keep giving signals as we go, but I would say be ready for combat the second we get in there.
Bye.
They'll likely need help. They're raiders, they're used to taking the initiative and going on the offensive. They're not so good at fighting when taken by surprise themselves. That's why we keep our camps quite hidden from the wolves. And with that, Course takes the lead, and we'll go down. Lucy, can you follow me as well, please?
Aye.
So we stealth our way down to the camp where the lit torches are going out.
Could you roll a stealth check, please?
No worries. Is that with Pass Without Trace as well?
Yeah.
Oh, I think.
Is that? I've literally just got his sheet.
Just in time.
Alright, just
No.
and
Have you got your sheet up?
Yes.
That's alright. I'll type now.
What about to do?
So we're approaching the Kobold camp. We intended to go ask them for help and to exchange information about a beast that they're living next to without realizing it.
Okay.
The thing is that Korska's tried to make contact with the camp using his signal flute. The thing is he's not getting a response, and the camp's torches are going out one by one.
There is one remaining at this point.
Alright. So what do you want Lucy to do?
Stealth and follow Korsk.
Yeah, we've got +10 to our stealth at the moment as well.
Thank goodness, because
Good, because I got a 2, so that'd be 12.
Okay.
Looks like I'm wearing the rubber.
Oh. Everybody bar Lucy feels a soft breeze just brushing past. Lucy, as you head closer to the village, to the camp, you start to get each step. At each step, you see there seems to be like a gust of wind that blows sand up in your face. It's quite warm, this gust.
Does it have a smell?
No. By this point, you can see you're getting closer, and you can see the outline of buildings and the one torch that's stuck in the ground. Flickering its light on the outside of some ruins. Like a ruined village.
Can we see any bodies or signs of combat or anything?
You get within a few hundred meters of the village, and you find a number of kobolds face down on the ground, dead.
Korsk is pretty much abandoning caution at this point. He's going to still crouch low to the ground, but he's not really trying to stealth anymore. He's going to run in and start turning over bodies.
oh, sweet, we gotta be careful still. I'll follow up behind him.
That doesn't matter at this point. See if you can find anyone who's still breathing.
And I'll go separate, but keeping really quiet and slow about it.
How would you feel if it was one of the Dragonborn army deserter camps?
I'm not saying I disagree with you, of course.
In places you can see that some have died through asphyxiation. Their airways seem filled with sand. Others look as though almost like they've had sandpaper applied to them vigorously in key areas of their bodies, almost bursting arteries through sanding down their flesh. Others have been hit by debris in what looks like some sort of that has been slung in their direction.
Alright. Lucy? This has changed
Sorry,
from...
I'm also doing paperwork for just now. I'm listening, sorry. Yes.
Is Amanita here as well?
Yeah.
Lucy and Amanita? I think this just changed from a recon. We find this thing, we catch it and kill it.
You don't
Fire?
think it's like the golem that we fought before, but maybe sand instead.
Sounds like a good shout. Incidentally, where did Varric go off to?
I'm still around. Just around the corner.
We have Lucy. Did we get diamonds in the end?
Mm-hmm.
Just in case.
I heard that.
I think we gave them out to each other as well. I'm just double checking.
How old are the bodies, Wayne?
Some of them are still warm.
Yeah, we bought 10 diamonds each, and we gave each one of us took 2, just to have in case.
I did not mark that down, so I'll mark that down just now.
No worries.
You notice, unlike earlier when it was quite cold, strangely cold as well, even for a desert at night, it is beginning to become sweltering warm where you are. The air is getting humid and thick.
I mean, we know this isn't a natural phenomenon, but I don't suppose that Paws could roll a nature check to take a guess at the source or the cause of it.
Roll away.
Normal. Getting all the bad ones out now.
No idea. You're not quite sure what sort of beast could affect the air in that way.
We need information now, and I think it's a good time to take the opportunity to save at least one of these people. Amanita, do you have the magical energy available for one use of rebirth?
I do, but I guess I can take away once. I can't use this very often, though.
I think at the moment, though, it's more about preventing any further damage. So, Korsk will take one of the, looking over the bodies, are there any kobolds he knew reasonably well? Because he would favour those.
None that you are that familiar with. There were a couple you recognise, but nobody you had a personal relationship with.
So he'll take one of the ones he recognised, kind of drag the body over to Amanita and take one of his diamonds out as a offering for the spell.
Fine.
Huh?
Cover me, though, because if anything is to attack me while doing this, it won't work.
How long does the spell take?
It doesn't actually say. It's just a touch spell.
Marcus and Lucy, I need you to keep Amanita safe during this period, okay?
I'll use a bit of healing as well to boost him back to...
Thank you.
Last, and then I will do...
Oh. So, this particular kobold with like copper brown scales. You cast Revivify on him. How long is he supposed to have been dead? If on Revivify?
One sec, I'm reading the wrong thing. Where is it gone? Ignore the healing word being 4th level.
Okay.
I don't know why that allowed that. Right.
Last minute. I would say before you cast the spell, whilst the body is still warm, you probably get the impression that it's died longer than a minute ago. So I would say you don't waste the spell, you don't spend the spell slot, but the you haven't seen any movements, you've not seen anybody go down, and you've been within sight for the last minute or so.
Okay.
Well, let's just say she tried to. I'll use one of my healing words, and she'll try and heal him. Sorry.
That's not your fault.
Yeah. So keep your revivify. Keep your
Yeah,
level.
I've taken that one back and swapped it with the healing word.
So he just lies there lifeless, staring into the abyss.
Of course, we'll gently kind of close his eyes, and then he'll start looking for tracks, and kind of leave everyone else to do their own thing.
Okay. You can see tracks heading away from what looks like a building in towards the middle of the village. Almost a group of buildings, but some ruins that it could have been multiple buildings. It could have been the same building. There's like thick wall around the outside, but it's almost like a group of buildings inside. None of which have got a roof. They've got some of which have got doors. Some of the walls have collapsed. Some haven't. You see a lot of tracks heading away from that building. As you notice and look up towards it, the last torch flickers, then goes out.
These for the tracks. Those are the only ones left in the camp, right? Or just converging on this.
They're moving away from it, yeah. It's almost
Don't
like
know.
some sort of meeting in this building.
I don't know about you, Korsk, but I suggest we head away from the camp now, before any of your family turn up and think it's us.
To know they're still alive, though. I don't like Heck or the people who follow her, but I can't just leave them like this now. I left once and it did enough damage as it is. I'm not going to leave them to die.
I'm not sure Amity is saying we leave the rest of your family, but from the looks of things, whoever might have still be alive has moved away from the camp at the minute.
It's just we try and find them and warn them what the creature taken.
At this point, the wind has picked up. Sand begins to fill the air as the gusts get stronger and stronger. You're still just outside the village, or just at the edge of the village at this point.
Okay, so the course goes fine, and then he turns his back on the building where the torch went out, and starts walking back to the group.
At this point, you notice that the tracks that you had seen come out the building starting to be blown away in the wind. you look up towards the sky and you can see a storm gathering above you. What looks like clouds with a brown tinge to them, as though they're full of sand as well as water.
Look, these storms get pretty bad, so if we're gonna find them, we're gonna have to do it now.
Right. Let's get on the trail then.
So what are you doing? You're looking for particular...
We're trying to see where most of the tracks leaving the village ended up going.
Could you do a survival check, please? With disadvantage.
Can anyone assist?
I was.
Okay.
I don't suppose there's someone who's better suited for this as well.
I've got a +17 in survival.
Okay, so let's do it that way around then. So Jess takes the roll, and of course gives some advantage, advantage, which cancels the disadvantage.
Yep, that's fine.
Oh, that one. Sorry.
That's fine.
By this point, you start to follow what you think is footprints, but they're just whipped up by the wind and filled with sand.
This is no good.
What do you mean it's no good? Where did the prints go? They kind of just vanished.
Well, this is sand.
I know that, but some trace must remain, some little detail that we're overlooking.
As you say that, you get a mouthful of sand as the wind picks up.
It's only 10 minutes ago these tracks were here. And he kicks the sand dune.
Sand goes up in the air. It gets caught in the wind and then gets slung towards some of the other group who stood next to you on the left. I'm assuming Amanita's standing one side, the rest of the group are the other.
Next to Amanita, I was told to watch her and keep her safe, and that's what I'm doing.
Okay. So I'd assuming Varric, Cleo, and Marcus all get sand. Well, actually, could you do a let me just check something. Won't be a minute. Could you do a perception check, please? Varric, Cleo, and Marcus.
I'll do Marcus's first. It is the terrible rolls coming at first.
Yeah, I've only had 2 rolls so far that were actually over 10.
Well, Leo just rolled a 29, which is natural 20. So So he covers his eyes and his mouth, kind of pulls his hood down, and his top up to his chest, like. Marcus and Varric effectively shut their eyes to keep the sand out, but they can no longer see where they're going. Marcus spits a load of sand out, find himself coughing a little bit before he puts a scarf over his mouth. You are now pretty much in a sandstorm. What would you like to do?
Horsk, I know what I said about trying to find your family now, but this is dangerous. If we keep going on, we'll end up getting killed out here too.
Damn it. And he kicks the sand dune again, while trying to keep his head down from the wind.
Horsk, that's going straight up my nose and my mouth, please.
Why did you come here, Heck? Why did you get involved in Dragonborn affairs?
Look, if you want me to buy you some time, I could try something.
Yes, Amita, what can you do?
I can create a wall of water. Maybe that will stop the sand from hitting us.
How long can it last for?
Up to 10 minutes, so you've only got 10 minutes.
Less than nothing. I'd say do it. Thank you, Amanita. I'm sorry I doubted you.
But what it does, leave like a fitting ring as well.
Okay.
I mean, Lucy, if you want, you could try and freeze it, and then we've got the wall there for a while.
Lucy stops his shouting at the storm and just goes, I'll give it a roll. Nope, that sheet come back.
So you raise the wall of water. I'm assuming you try and encircle the group with it.
Yeah, I'll do the ring one version.
Are you trying to freeze it now, are you?
I think that's what I was told to do.
Are you able to move it once it's frozen?
No.
So you're literally just encasing yourself in ice, like an ice barrier. Okay. So when you create the initial wall, before Lucy freezes it, you all start getting splattered with mud as sand is blown in from all directions. At that point, you believe you see in the sand a large ghost-like figure, almost like a cloud of dust, but looks like seems to have arms and a face, just for a moment, and then it moves off towards the building in the middle. Lucy then freezes the ice.
Did anyone else see that? There was something there, but it wasn't a kobold.
No.
Sorry, Horsk, I got sand in my eyes.
Looks like we're dealing with something we don't want to be dealing with.
Just give me 10 minutes. Just give me 10 minutes. If we haven't found anything by then, we'll just have to dig in.
I mean, Lucy's frozen the wall now, so it means I don't have to hold this spell. So, otherwise, it would only take me 10 minutes to.
Okay. How long will the wall last for? Now it's frozen.
DM?
I would say it probably lasts a good 20 minutes because it's quite cool. The natural temperature is quite cool at that point, but you've got this dense kind of air, and it's continually being bombarded with sand, which is gradually chipping bits away. So I'd say it'd probably take about 20 minutes to weaken it enough to then shatter. As this is happening, you can see through the ice that the storm is getting more and more violent. But you also notice that as time's going on and little bits are being chipped away, the ice becomes less and less clearer as time goes on.
Lucy will still be grumbling expletives to Burton every now and again.
So, while the wall of ice is active, this is the hard part. Sorry, just looking through my spell list in case I happen to have something. Alright, so I guess Korsk is trying to swim against the tide here, so to speak. He's trying to look for any trace whatsoever in the middle of a raging sandstorm.
Trace of?
Items someone dropped, perhaps, while they were fleeing, which is going vaguely from the direction of where the tracks were leading for.
Through the ice. Okay, I would say do an investigation check with disadvantage.
It's just Korsk that can do this, right? Yeah.
Would have been really good without the disadvantage as well.
Mm.
You have no idea. You're trying to peer. You initially think you see something, but then you work out it's an imperfection in the ice caused by the sandstorm.
So he's doing that for the next 10-15 minutes. If anyone else wants to do something, then.
Varric's going to try and fashion like a dust cover for his mouth. It's going to keep rubbing his eyes to get the sand out.
I think we just need to work out what our next move is. This ice wall will drop anytime soon. We need to take cover.
Why don't we dig a hole?
Alright. Yeah, Lucy's suggestion is what we need to do, I believe. If we dig into the side of a sand dune, we can throw one of the blankets across it. Perhaps harden it with something as well. That'll keep the sand out.
What about the creature outside?
I don't think we can travel far enough to avoid it. We just have to hope it doesn't notice us at this point.
We are close enough to, unfortunately, Korsk, your family's camp, so we could head there and take shelter in the buildings out there. At least they are hard walls.
Wayne, can we still see the camp? from where we've been traveling?
Yeah,
Or do
you're
we
on
still-
the edge of like a ruined village, and the camp
Okay.
is set up in the thing. You get the impression that it was concentrated around this central building.
Okay. Then we take shelter. Let's find some small rooms that we can just cover the windows with something.
Before we head out as well, I want to give everyone some rope when we should all hold on to this as we travel out. Alright, Jess, you were saying something like that, yeah?
She just said, I'm sure Lucy has something that can help.
So,
Lucy's just going to tie the rope round his waist.
so the ice is gradually worn and worn away. Gets to the point where chunks start to fall off it as it's continually beaten by the sandstorm. You find yourselves getting ready to run as you see a final crack appear in the bottom bit of it. And then the whole thing just splits and flies off in the wind. You're being continually battered. What would you like to do?
So all holding the rope, we make a run for that central building.
Okay. Could I have a marching order, please?
Well, I'm guessing Lucy's going to be near Amanita.
We'll say Corsica's right at the front.
Back will be behind Lucy.
Okay. I'll put Cleo in front of Amanita and Lucy. And
I do
Marcus.
like the mental image.
Sorry?
I do like the mental image of you just said they just as soon as it smashed we went. Lucy's just got the rope tied around him.
Oh. At which point, this is what you can see. You're down the bottom of the map, my lad.
It's popping up my character sheet.
It's what your character sheet, sorry?
Oh, just there's a feature Roll20 has where you can get it to display in a separate window.
Alright.
So I've just gotten it out of the way so I can see the whole map. So that's a guess. Where is the? Do we know what the wind direction is?
It is swirling.
In absence of better option, I would say this room would probably be the best one to hold up in. So it's kind of got. If I wish you'd draw arrows on this. Basically, like there's only this area which is facing to the center anyway, so it's covered by the other buildings, and we can throw a tarp across that. So I'm assuming what we're trying to do here is we're just trying to find somewhere to wait out the sandstorm, and then we'll do the search in the morning.
That's the plan.
Okay.
We're doing character sheets over here now.
So what would you like to do? You're heading off to that in that direction.
Yeah.
Actually,
Yes.
Amanita's freezing of the wall. Well, Amanita and Lucy freezing the wall of water may have given me an idea on how to shut that bit of wall that broke.
Okay.
Right, so I reckon what we're doing is we're just making our way across like that.
Okay. So you make your way up to about here. Can you see that? No, you can't see that because I'm on the wrong layer. Up to here. No, probably about there actually. Just at the edge of this building. So about this sort of area. So if you stop your characters about there.
I can't move Cleo.
And then could we all roll initiative, please?
Quick question. I think Marcus is supposed to be at full health now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I will just quickly set that. Oh no, it's already done. Having the window popped out is really strange for me. And here come the good rolls. That's all we want to see.
So. Okay. So everybody. Oh, I haven't rolled Cleo, have I? Usual story. I have now. Right. So if I rearrange that then.
Does anyone else get this where, like, certain characters will have, like, whatever they've rolled, then, like, point something? So, like,
Yeah,
Cleo there for me is...
The point something is your dex modifier. And the reason for that is just in case it's a draw, then you should go in order of dex modifier or something like that is the assumption. But so 16.18, for example, would go before 16.2. So is the theory, but I think you can decide between yourselves anyway.
Yeah, I think there's a running habit as well in board games in general of like having 3 layers of tie breaking, just because of the number of times you can get equal.
Yeah. Okay. So I am going to do a surprise round initially. Which point there's only one thing going in the surprise round. And that is this. So you see this thing full of sand. It flies towards the group. Engulfs Marcus and it engulfs Marcus and Korsk and flings them off in a random direction. So could you do a could Marcus and Korsk both do strength saves, please?
Not 20 for Marcus.
Okay. You have both succeeded. So DC 13 strength saving throw. On a failure, you take X damage and are flung 20 feet away in a random direction, or knocked prone. If the target is if you succeed, right, okay. What does it say on a success? Takes half the bludgeoning damage and isn't flung. Okay, so that's half of 3d8 plus 2. I'll roll it twice, one for each of you. Don't know whether or not that's right, but... So this one is for Korsk, because he's first. And you've got divided by 2, so 7 damage.
Okay, actual.
And then this one is for Marcus. So divided by 2, round down, 7 again.
So getting to by cylinder random objects.
And then so it's rent 1, 2, 3, 4 gets MNL. It gets loads of moves. So it's then going to fly outside. What would you like to do? So it is Korsk's turn next, sorry.
Okay. Korsk is going to gather himself, dust off his coat a little bit, and use his potion action to consume a boldness elixir. Let me just get that quoted in the chat. Except I can't, because you can't select stuff. Drinker can roll a d4 and add numbers rolled to every attack roll and saving throw they make for the next minute.
Say that again.
Okay, I'll quote it. It's going to be very long. Yeah. So it's number 4.
Alright, I can see it now. Drinker can roll a d4 and add the number to the attack. Okay, right, okay, fine.
So it's an extra d4 on every roll. Then I can't see it, can I? Because it's behind the wall.
It's behind the wall now, yeah.
Okay. So... Korsk is going to move out to here, to the shelter they were going to use. Main position in here, actually. Bit of extra space. And he's going to ready an action. Just a quick question, Wayne. Can you ready using a spell?
If it's an action, I think so.
Okay.
But I think basically if you end up not using if you end up not triggering the readiness, you end up just losing the spell because you've already begun to cast it effectively. You're just holding the final burst.
Right. Okay. I follow.
How long's the rope you tie to Marcus by?
Good question. I don't imagine it's that long, but if we're moving together, then it would work, right?
Just want to remind everyone that it is tied around Lucy's waist.
So I would say after Lucas, let me just do some measurement. Just need to do some. Yeah, so it's going to encounter you before Marcus moves. It's going to get round and encounter you again before Marcus gets to move, because its turn is before Marcus in the initiative order.
Okay. How far would you say Korsk can move without dropping the rope then?
So that's about 10 feet between you all.
We'll get to this corner.
Unless you choose to cut the rope. But
doesn't sound like a smart idea in the circumstances. Okay, so he'll ready chill touch.
Okay.
See what that does.
And what's the trigger? Just somebody going.
Trigger is the sand creature enters into his line of sight uninterrupted. That then takes us to Varric.
Varric's going to drop the rope. He is going to keep pushing. And head up there.
Okay.
And he is going to, very much like Korsk, he's going to hold the spell. He's going to hold Thunderwave at 3rd level.
Okay. What's the damage type on that? Just out of interesting.
For Thunderwave, it is...
Is it force damage, is it?
No, it's thunder damage.
Okay. Okay. And that's your go, is it?
Yeah, my trigger is going to be like, if it passes in front of me, I'm going to blast them.
Cleo will also cut the rope. And he will head down into this area. 2, 3, 4, 5. He's going to move to there. And that's his go. Lucy?
Lucy will hold his spell action and just stand there ready with his shield.
Okay. So it takes us back to the beastie. So it's got a movement of 90, by the way.
Lucy will hold a spell until the creature looks like it's coming towards him or the group with him, and then he would use it.
Yeah, so in which case it's going to probably land on Korsk again.
Do I get shots to?
Yeah, so to do your spell when it's far there, I guess.
Right. So, and I need to roll a d4 if this doesn't beat its armor class, which I doubt it does. So here comes a d4.
Okay.
Oh my god. 14.
No dice.
So he reaches to his belt of hands, sparks one and throws it in, and I imagine it gets whipped up into the storm and vanishes from sight.
Yeah. So at which point it's on you again. I need to re-roll to see whether or not this is recharged. It isn't. In which case, as it goes past you, it'll probably move here actually, and it'll attack you and Marcus. This one's for Korsk, which is a 15.
Nope. He takes it on the shield and just the sand skitters off it.
And you were lucky then. It rolled maximum damage.
I'm guessing it has a lot of damage dice then.
Only 2. It rolled 21 though.
Oh.
2d8 5.
Okay. I was going to say, is it rolling 2d20s for damage?
No, this is Marcus. So it's a 12, so misses again.
Now that he's attacked Marcus, would Lucy be able to use his spell?
Yeah.
Would I have gotten to shoot mine as he kind of came around the corner there as well, or would I have not seen him?
I would. Yeah, I mean, you can do.
Let Mara go first then.
If you want to go first, Charlie, I don't mind. Sorry.
It's Old Faithful, so it's fine. You can go first.
Alright. So, Thunderwave at 3rd level. 18 points of damage and a Constitution 14 save. Not that I don't think the con save really matters too much. He's a...
So it rolled 20 on the con save.
So it just takes 9 damage then. It doesn't have to worry about getting shoved. As it would have passed by me, I guess.
Okay. So as you launch your Thunderwave towards it, it just seems to pass through it and seem to make too much damage to it. Lucy? Eldritch Blast. So both of those
19
are hits.
and 22.
So both of those are hits.
Okay. For 19 force damage.
Okay.
Does that seem to work?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
And that, yeah. Will help.
So, next up. Is there we go.
Oh, boy.
Varric sees a little wisp of a tornado start, and this thing just rises up, and the sand just rises up, and this thing forms this sandy, cloud-like figure
They're multiplying!
in front of you. As it goes past, where am I? I need to be on the right layer, which would help. As it gets to about there, it swings a slam at you. 16.
16 meets and beats.
18 bludgeoning damage.
Oof. If Alex has got his new board, he doesn't want to die again.
And then it continues. And then it continues round. I need to work out how much I can travel. It's 20, 40,
Jesus Christ.
60, 80. You can get to just by Lucy. However, it'll probably stop by Korsk and give them a slam attack. I'm not going to take the advantage from flanking because it's not in this particular beast's nature to think about this.
Right.
20.
That would be it.
16 bludgeoning damage.
Ow. Of course, takes it in the back and just goes face first into the sand before jumping right back up again.
Oh. I just need to mark this with something, actually. And then I'll mark this one with something. Cool. So next up then is Amanita.
Okay, Amanita's going to shout to everyone to head to this room here. And into... Let me just double read this, but she's going to hold an action probably and cast it after Lucy. So if you don't get in this room, guys, yeah, good luck. So she will hold this action. It's 120 foot, so she would cast it. So pretty much does the whole area from this doorway. I think where's it? Range 10-20 foot cylinder. Yeah. And I can use it to move, so I would have it. when she does cast it.
Okay. So you're casting it there, are you?
I'll be holding my action for after Lucy's turn.
Okay. So, silvery beam of pale light shines down a 5-foot radius, 40-foot high cylinder, centered on your point, on a point within range till the spell ends. When the creature enters the spell's area for the first time, right? Okay, it's got to do a con save. 2d10 radiant damage on a failed save, or half of so much on a shape. If it's a shape changer, its saving throw makes its saving throw disadvantage. If it fails, it also instantly reverts to its original form and cannot assume a different form until it leaves the spell's light. I just need to check something first.
Got the image of just creature walks into this cylinder of light, and then all of a sudden it's just in a bathrobe with a newspaper and toilet roll. No.
What newspaper is it?
I'm going to say it's the Funnies.
What's
I
this,
was going
sorry?
to say the Sandy Times.
Sandy Times. That was a very good one.
Mhm.
Right, okay. I just need to check. Okay, fine. I just needed to clarify something.
It's fine. I won't be using it until after Lucy's turn, so.
It's fine. It's fine. I was just checking whether or not this particular thing is considered a creature. But it is. So that's you.
Yep.
Marcus.
I think Marcus would try and take a couple swings with the rapier before, following Amanita's advice and heading back into the building. So, first one. Does a 17 hit?
17 does hit, I believe. Yep.
12 piercing damage.
Okay. Again, it seems to pass through the creature. You see, almost like a hole appear in it, and then it kind of fills back up. Seems very slightly smaller, but not massively. Didn't quite have the effect that Marcus was hoping to have.
Are
you going to take a second swing at it?
Yeah, he'll just do what he does best, take a second swing, and then run away. He's not going to run away, he's going to fall back. 13, I bet, doesn't hit, so...
Not hit, no.
With that, he's going to go... he's going to go here.
Okay, it's going to take an opportunity attack at him.
That is fine.
26.
Definitely hits.
For 13 damage.
Oh. He's gonna put his rapier away and kind of get his hands ready for the crossbow, and kind of just be ready for it.
Okay. At this point, Lucy notices the ground near him begin to move, swirl, and another beastie begins to form. Once I actually move it to the right layer, GM info, token layer, and then cool. It'll move into his space, and I'm assuming the rope has been cut now, has it? Or are people still connected to Lucy?
I think it must be.
I think people have just
I
cut
think
like
Lucy's
legwork
just got
out of
it as a belt. Yeah, he's just got an extra belt.
At which point, it will. Could Lucy do a strength save, please? Oh dear. 3d8 plus 2 damage.
It's okay, you know what's coming.
It's fire damage for whatchamacallit, Hellish Rebuke, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just
Which I
turn the
don't
glass.
think we've tried yet. 19? Okay.
19.
Right.
Okay, I need to roll a dice. 6. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You are slung into this wall here, and that means you take 1d6 extra damage. I'll just roll that.
It could have been worse. I thought he was going to treat me like a pinball machine and just
This is a
send me flying between them all.
So that's 6 damage.
Another 6, okay. And you, if you wouldn't mind terribly doing a dexterity save, please.
Use Hellish Rebuke on self.
16.
You bastard. Right, you take half.
Okay.
11 fire damage, unless he's resistant to that.
Yeah.
Sorry, I have to push this. I forgot to push that button. Never mind.
And
Still just the 22.
I just need to mark its thing as red. Cool. I'm just using the red and green thing as to whether or not I've used that ability and need to recharge it.
Ooh.
So that then takes. It's not moved yet. So it's not. It's moved a little bit. So it will move 25, 50, 50. It'll probably move round to about there.
Speaking of these monsters, you can have a lot of fun with having them swirl around the map constantly.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't you notice that?
I mean, I think there's been a tactical level to their movements so far. It's not just randomly moving around like a maelstrom, but
cool. So that then takes us to. Have we done we've done marks, haven't we?
Yeah.
I've done that one.
Right. Of
Horsk.
course. So I think I know what I'm doing in terms of movement. It's what I do with the bonus action healing that's the question. So what I'm thinking Gorsk will do is he'll take a disengage action. Oops. And I need to show this as well. And he'll run like that.
Okay.
Get in front of Amanita. So I'll just do that. Now the question is whether bonus action heal on Lucy or on himself. Kind of depends on what Lucy's doing next. I suppose we'd know that, though. Oh, you're muted. Sorry.
I can tell you what he's going to do next. He's going to run into this area where you guys are and maybe do something else before that. But that's about it.
Okay. Alright, of course he's going to do it on self, just so, because he's almost certainly going to take an attack next turn. Okay, so that is a healing word. It's been ages since I used this. 9.
Okay.
Okay, and that's it. That's all you can do.
That then takes us to Barrack.
Yeah, I think you've got to run.
Yeah, Varys is gonna gun it. He's gonna dash, so he's gonna get over there.
You're gonna waddle.
Gonna waddle as fast as I can. Which uses up my action, which is heartbreaking. And I'm just gonna. Oh, it's an action. Never mind. It's a bonus action. He will spend 3 sorcery points to get back his 3rd level spell slot.
Okay.
And that's my turn.
Okay. Cleo? Let's have a look. Pardon me, what you can do. I've not recharged these blooming spells. He's like, let's have a look at this. So he is going to move back here, I think. And then he's like, Amanita, if I build the wall, can you put a roof on this place?
I'll try.
In which case, he is going to cast. If I can find it again. It only lasts 10 minutes, but actually tell me. Okay. So he's going to cast Wall of Stone. And he's going to effectively cast it across here. Up to the height of where the normal stones are. I will add there is no roof on the building that you are on any of these buildings. And that's his go. Which then leads us to Lucy.
Lucy will pick himself up from the ground and feel very annoyed. I have a question for you, Wayne. How quickly does liquid come out of the mug of retention?
I would say I wouldn't say it comes out with force unless it's just like gravity. It'd just be like pouring water out of a bucket.
So, but like, see with a tap, if you cover half of it, it comes out a wee bit faster. Could that work with the mug?
No, it'll just start
No.
dripping.
Okay. So how much would I be able to pour out in one turn before taking my movement?
6 seconds. Probably about, what, half gallon?
Okay, so I'll do that while pouring out half a gallon of Varric's whiskey onto the floor while he can't see towards these air creatures. And before I take my movement, I will cast Fireball.
Okay, where are you casting it?
This is the center, which I think
Okay.
to here, 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 and here. I believe 1, 2, 3. Yeah,
Okay.
so circle that area.
I'll just grab a circle.
No worries. Double check I've got that right.
So it should be about 8.
20-foot radius, yeah.
Should be about 8 squares. Let's say it's that. Or not.
Dexterity save for all three of them, please.
Okay. I just need to do something first.
So I imagine everyone is in the building taking shelter. And then a load of like wind debris flies past and it's like, yep, that's Lucy.
Okay. Dex save, you say?
Yep.
3 dex saves. 1.
Also aided by some extra combustion from Varric's whiskey catching on fire.
3. I would just assume there is it's almost like there is a bonfire in a lasting bonfire for a few rounds.
Varric might notice a pleasant smell.
Around here, I would say. There's a fire there.
Okay.
So, natural 20, 7 and 11 from top to bottom.
7 and 11 take 32 fire damage, and the natural 20 takes 16.
Minus 16. What was the other? 32.
32 for both of them, yeah.
Minus 32.
And then with that, you'll just have Lucy running around here and into here.
Where are you running?
I went this way into the room.
He's just blocked it off with a wall of stone.
Have they already blocked off? Oh. Guys, I thought you said I could come in. What's going on?
Climb very quickly, man. Climb.
Quick!
You can have a go at climbing.
Lucy will try and climb.
Okay. It's about 10.
He'll also, just if he manages to get near the top, he'll try to undo his new belt and fling it over and say, "Someone pull!"
It's turning into a horror movie.
So I'd say do a athletics check, please.
Ugh.
Just to see if you can get the
oh.
purchase to pull yourself up.
17.
Yeah, you're fine. You're fine. So you kind of pull yourself up onto the top, sling your belt over. Nobody grabs it, but then you just kind of hurtle head first over the wall.
One of them's coming in! Shoots.
You said you'd wait. What's going on?
With
Okay. So then it
now
is.
Lucy coming in, I will obviously do the action I held and release the moonbeam.
Okay. Release the what, sorry?
The moonbeam.
Okay. So that's now shining there. So it's now. That one's turn. I'm going to go to this one. So they see the flames, but they're flying over it. Oh, I need to roll. I need to roll for that one, actually. Okay. Who's next? So is that one? Yeah, that one. So that doesn't need to. So that's gonna probably move to about there. And then we'll do Amanita. What would you like to do?
Well, none of them came into a moonbeam, so that was a wasted action. But with that, seeing as requested, she heard Cleo say, "Make a roof." Parts. Plant growth.
Oh, fantastic. Okay.
Yeah, okay, I prepared it.
So these vines just seem to close up over the edge of the roof. And at which point we'll kind of pause initiative, because all you can hear is these things swirling outside. Just seem to be circling. Don't seem to be making any attempts to get into the room that you're in. What would you like to do?
How are we going to get out?
Sorry.
Go on, Amanita.
I don't have any more spells, but the cast woodland beings, so I can't turn us into animals that can run very fast. Only I can. I mean, one of you could ride me, but
I have 2 uses left of my Transfiguration Potion. We might be able to add 2 more people to that roster. How long is it?
Dennis,
Could we maybe burrow our way out?
Sorry, what was the last word?
Could we maybe burrow our way out?
that might be a good idea. Let me have a look. And Amanita will go through her cooking, pulling it out of her hat. Where are you? Now I've got to try and find to see if I can be any burrowing animals. I mean, keep planning while
I've just checked. Unfortunately, these potions aren't strong enough. They'll change your appearance to look like another humanoid, but you can't become a beast properly.
Have we tried talking to them?
I don't think they'll listen to reason, Lucy. They seem to be pretty adamant on hurting us.
My guess is that they're territorial, and we were unfortunate enough, and those before us were unfortunate enough to stumble across their turf.
No, I suspect they're stuck on this plane and they're trying to get back to where they come from. I think they invoke violence because they need a death to return to their plane.
Well, should we
If they are
kill
what
them
I
then?
suspect they are.
If we could destroy them, that would be one way of dealing with it.
but there's like a load of them coming out of the ground. We don't know how many of them are going to keep.
In any event, we're not prepared enough to take them on now, I feel. We'll have to wait.
I have one idea. I do have an animal that can burrow. Just bear with me 2 more
I can
seconds.
shoot a hole into the ground. Bit messy, man.
If you can create a tunnel, Amanita, I can stabilize it.
This is the only one I can find. So just seeing if there's any post.
While we're waiting, Course will use a healing word on it.
Oh. Sorry, I just thought of something. Where is it?
Regain 7 hit points for Rook.
Nice, thank you.
I've got a way out.
What would that be, Lucy?
I have a... See, before I got this nice cloak, I had another cloak. And, it did things.
What kind of things?
Well, like, it had patches on it, and if I took the patch and threw it, it did things. Like, it gave me gems and coffers, and gave me a pair of my dogs. You know my dogs? Gave me them. It's got some patches left on it still.
What sort of patches?
Well, there's this one with a window. I could maybe put it against the wall facing out of town, and we could maybe go through it if it makes a window.
Into the sandstorm.
Well, I don't know. We're not going to stay here forever.
Yes, I'm beginning to think the tunneling strategy is more what we're looking for at this point.
Okay.
Unless we wait till the sandstorm goes away. I can only cast my wall of stone one more time, though, and it only lasts 10 minutes.
Maybe I can cast my plant growth again.
And cover the wall and the...
Yes, but we'll be waiting here for a while.
Yeah, sandstorms can last days. We don't know how long it's...
I don't think we have a choice, unfortunately. We need to be better prepared before we step outside again.
Agreed. I mean, what I can do is I can create a plant-based plant barrier against Cleo's wall, and then I can start tunneling. While I tunnel, you guys can maybe come up with another idea, while just in case.
Wait. So while they're coming up with ideas, as Amanita does the plant growth and the digging, would it be possible to do a nature check to see if we can, to see if Korsk was able to basically observe anything about the way the creatures behaved in the last combat? I mean, we saw, for instance, that lightning just passed straight through them, as did physical weaponry. Can we draw any further conclusions about their possible weaknesses, given they might be plane-based and have some limited control over sand and wind?
Roll a nature check then.
Normal. 16. Getting better.
So... You're not... You get the impression that these aren't necessarily sand creatures. They seem to be more... act like wind. Seem to be more like a air-based thing that picked up the sand. You get the feeling that maybe the sandstorm is something to do with them.
I have a sneaky idea, but I think I would like to... It might be something we have to wait for next time, depending if we do more combat or not. If they're picking up sands, then it's... I feel like I'm really stretching your logic here. If they're not made of the sand, but they're picking it up and it's swirling in around them, right? And sand is partly metal. Well, it's made of silicon and stuff.
Yeah.
So, based on that, would this spell possibly do something to them? So I was thinking like heat up the sand that they're picking up, and then because they can't get rid of it, being wind elementals, they're permanently taking damage from that source. Well, as long as the spell lasts.
Says choose a manufactured metal object there, doesn't it?
I know, I thought that would be a problem.
And technically they're all individual bits of... is it semi-metal or whatever they call it? They're on that kind of... along that kind of diagonal on the periodic table, aren't they?
Yeah, it's silicon with something else. I've forgotten what it is. Possibly silicon dioxide.
But what happens when you heat sand?
Test glass.
Yeah, so even if it did work, you would just end up creating a load of glass. Molten glass. Which you can then start flinging at you.
So we can burn it, but yeah. What about acid base effects? Is that just going to pass through them if they're wind elementals as well?
Not that I can see.
Okay, got a couple of options there. I'm guessing poison won't work because they're not biological in any way.
No, not from what you can ascertain.
The only problem is if they're creating it, the air around them, they might fling the acid as well, depending if it's acid in the air.
If we're fighting them, we're not left with... If we do end up fighting them, we're not left with many other options, though. I'd throw something in there.
I mean, you have damaged them. Just not as much as you'd hoped from those attacks.
So, if we're sealed up here for a while, I would say we try to take the opportunity to take a long rest and keep ourselves refreshed. Then we can come outside in the morning and hopefully disperse them.
Was plant growth permanent, Jess?
I don't know, actually. I'll have to have a look.
Okay.
Let me post it in the chat. But I think as long as I don't take a long rest, I might.
It refers to over 8 hours.
If you cast a spell over 8 hours, you enrich the land.
It seems like it can last.
Alright, I think that's just more your... I think the plants that are there, I'm assuming there was like little bits of tufts of grass and stuff, and that's what you've then turned into vines. The plants that was there, you basically, as you're casting it, it grows. If you cast it for longer than 8 hours, then it enriches the land. I think that's what's saying. But you got to sit there and cast it for that long. But yeah, okay. So you will be able to cast it, and it would just take a few minutes, and it would then. There's no concentration or anything. So it would just then create a barrier. So you could have a long rest potentially.
What I'll do instead of wild shaping, I will summon. Instead, I would summon. I would summon a wild companion to do the digging, rather than wild.
Okay. What are you summoning?
It will be the cave badger that I posted in the chat.
Cave badger.
Oh, badger mushroom. Yeah, I got it. Oh no. So who's the snake then?
Look at me.
Just suddenly a snake appears, just like goes.
I've not got a cave. I've not got a cave badger, but I've got a giant badger.
Yeah, the cave badger looks the same anyway on the thing.
Okay.
Okay. Are we doing any more actions, or are we long resting completely?
Assuming you long rest.
Go as
Besides
much
just
as
short
is.
rest.
Right. Let me get my spells and stuff done, and I will be with you. Perfect. Double bonus.
So as you rest, you can hear the storm die down. And you can feel the sun, the heat of the sun start to shine on the roof of the building. After a few hours, it becomes probably about 6 in the morning. It becomes probably about 8, 9 in the morning. It becomes stifling hot. Cave Badger looks exhausted as it keeps digging the hole. Where are you digging the hole to? Just out of the building?
Yeah.
Keeps digging. You don't hear any sound of wind. You just get the impression that everything is still outside. Gets to about 10 o'clock and you've finished your full rest. Marcus turns around and says, They seem quite quiet. I wonder if they've gone.
There is a door at the back. We could take a peek.
Okay.
Oh,
Sneak us to the door.
Morning.
Morning, Amanisa. You sound better.
Do you feel better? It's a bit hot.
Sorry, just saw what was in the Discord chat.
So yeah, Lucy will peek through the door.
Korsk will immediately be behind her.
As far as you can see, there's no sign of the beasts other than their carnage from the night before. There's a couple of kobold bodies outside that door, half buried in sand.
Of course, you might want to stay inside.
I'll be fine, Lucy.
Alright.
Had to deal with this enough last day. And he'll stride to the center of the fort, I guess we'll call it. And he'll just call to the air elementals, like, come out.
Where are you walking to? Sorry, do you want to show it on the map?
Oh, yeah.
Something
to the effect of like the destruction you've caused so far is not enough for you to return to wherever you came. Can come take it now if you wish.
You cannot see any sign of them. What you can see is on the ground, just the other side of this wall, you can see the legs of a kobold body facing the wall. And you can see round this edge that there is something written on the wall.
He'll walk over and take a closer look. Pyrite flitting about his shoulders.
Lucy will follow him. Make sure he's alright.
You notice the body is that of Heck. On the wall, scratched in what looks and partially filled in with what looks like a mixture of mud and blood, are the words, "The blue-eyed god is vengeful. There must be peace."
Seeing this again, does Lucy know anything about this blue-eyed god?
Do a history check.
In peace. Okay. Pray for me. Nope.
Vosk will turn on his heel and just gently whisper Sanek's name to the wind.
What little wind there is at this point in time.
As Korsk starts coming back this way, Lucy will just looking at Heck's body, just turns it. Do you still want me to punch her?
It's too late now, Lucy. It's too late now.
Just checking.
For what it's worth, I think it's best if we repeat our practice as we did with Varric's people. Just burn the bodies, and then we can get out of this hellhole as soon as we can.
Okay. I'll get to that. And Lucy will just create bonfires on each one of the bodies. After checking their pockets.
Would you do an investigation check, please?
18?
So on each body you find a scimitar. It's probably about 18 of them that you find in the immediate area.
Okay.
There's probably about 5 wooden shields with the symbol of Danira on it. There are others, but you've found them broken. They're just shattered in the wind. There are small breastplates and bits of chainmail that are kobold-sized. And on Heck's person, there is 100 gold pieces and a small gold key.
So while I imagine Corson turn around to see Lucy actually looking through the pockets while preparing bodies for burial. So what he's doing in the meantime is, do any of these buildings have a like a first or second story?
No, they're all one story.
He'll climb up to this bigger wall and sit on it. And then he's going to fling Pyrite into the sky to do a look over the surroundings for any survivors that escaped. And into the sandstorm.
Okay. Do an investigation check, please.
As Corsk or Pyrite?
All right.
He doesn't have that trained, it's his it's perception that's his thing.
Okay, do perception, giving you high up.
Oh my god. It's one bad roll after another today.
He finds a lot of bodies, none alive. He goes out about a mile or two, and still, it looks as though there's a mixture. There's some that have just died fleeing, some of which have been ripped apart. Others seem to have died from their injuries and now being in the process of being eaten by a mixture of crows and vultures and other kind of vermin in the desert, little rodents. Other than that, he does not find much at all.
Can I assume with that low roll, he doesn't also see Lucy going through the dead kobolds' bodies? Great.
So,
Would have been a slightly awkward conversation.
what else would you like to do?
I'll tell the group that I found a gold key. As I was dragging one of the bodies to the pyre, it fell out.
Amanita will just be holding this cave badger and just be like, "Oh my god, it's so cute! Look at it! I don't remember your name." Okay, it's a bit weird that a cave badger is here, but look at it!
What do you mean? You brought me?
She then looks at Varric and is like, "Who's that?"
It was me.
Hammy!
It's Varric, Amanita.
Oh my god, what
Yeah.
happened?
You were with me when I changed.
Anita, remember when we were figuring out if Varric had hair? He does!
Oh, does that mean I can play?
I mean, if you wanted to, yeah, I guess. But that's besides the point. Amanita, you were with me when I got changed. You should remember this.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe she does remember. Remember God used to chat to them and changed him.
Oh my god. He's a lot stronger than I thought.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes,
lean
I
into
mean,
it.
if you heard the term born again,
No. I
Really?
believed Varric me when I brought him back to life.
it's when somebody finds God and they are reborn. Varric has had a similar experience.
I wouldn't call that guy God.
But how comes he didn't change when I revived him? He was so close to God then.
Well, gods are fickle, I guess. Who knows? But yeah, that's Varric.
Varric looks visibly displeased at what Lucy is saying. Just, it's me, Varric.
Do you not remember any of this, Amanita?
No, all I remember is falling asleep.
And when did you fall asleep, Amanita?
It did interesting. Oh,
Where were you?
we went to that place.
Eric's.
Where?
Do you remember flying through the sky as a bear?
I do remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun.
Was that fun? Do you remember
It was when
an
we
army
was
and lots of fire?
I remember setting my dog to get us to copy Marcus. Marcus was setting things alight, so I set the dog to go set things alight.
I got the blame for that. I wasn't. Marcus, we will be discussing that later.
I don't know why I did it, but I decided I'll get a dog to do it to make it look like he weren't Marcus.
Do you remember me shooting you in the face?
No.
That didn't happen. Great. Okay. It's all fine.
What? What?
No, never mind that. I'm just kidding. Of course I didn't shoot you in the face.
It was just a test.
Okay.
Oh. Yeah.
So, no sign of the elementals. Lucy has raided some pockets. Amanita is back. Would you like to do?
Lucy's writing on a little bit of paper Marcus's name.
Amanita's gonna put the badger, like, make him disappear, because he looked absolutely just like in around like.
Yeah, Badger, whilst he was cute and you grabbed hold of him and gave him a cuddle, he was a bit wet with sweat. I was panting a lot.
Oh.
Vorsk turns away from the. I imagine he's kind of come down the wall to join everyone. He gazes at the pyre briefly, and then turns to the rest of the party and says, "Unfortunately, I don't think there's anything more we can do here. I've attempted to look for survivors. There's no one left."
Heg had this key. It fell out of her pocket while I was moving her body, but I don't know what it is. It's a small gold key. Do you know what it might go to?
No, not myself. Heck, certainly never shared her personal possessions with me when she was alive.
Maybe she can in death.
Lucy,
Too soon?
Too
a
soon.
touch.
We, No, who was at the I forget who was at the oh yeah, it was Cleo. When we seen them last, they were carrying a lot of gold, were they not?
Bounty of some kind, yes.
Could the key be to some sort of chest or lockbox?
Have we searched the area yet? Has anyone seen an item of that description?
Lucy was busy searching the bodies. I didn't see anybody else searching.
I wasn't. It fell out of the pocket as I was dragging them to the funeral pyre.
Then my attention was distracted elsewhere. My point, though, about the kobolds here was, unfortunately, though, we're not going to get any help. It doesn't seem like there's anyone left to give it. So other than the lockbox, as Cleo points out, I don't think there's anything else we can do outside of the city limits. If anyone got away there, and I hope someone got away, they're well beyond Pirate's vision right now. In
We'll
any
keep an
event,
ear out, Korsk. We'll keep an ear out and eye out, making sure as we head back to the city, I guess. If anyone's there, we'll find them, but...
thank you. I'm not certain not certain if I want to do this yet, but after we regain the airship, it would give me it would give me a certain amount of peace if we went back to where my home is in the Sun's Fire and just check if everyone else is okay with that.
Lucy, do an investigation check, please.
I've got no problems with that course. We'll discuss it as a group when we get closer.
On a happier note, Lisa, you made a new friend, I see.
Yeah.
Seems dog-tired. God.
I mean, I did find him down in the hole, digging.
Of course.
14.
Do you think he was digging for gold?
Maybe there's a treasure down. It's better than gold.
You find what you assume is Hex tent, or the remains of it. Mainly because it's the biggest and the grandest outside of the walls of this. Immediately outside one of the walls, probably to the east. And you see, like, a crate of Kobold wine, a silver goblet, some bedding. The tent itself has kind of been torn to shreds, and most of it has been blown off. You do not see any sign of a lockbox.
Even if I dig about underground or anything, just start tearing things up looking for a lockbox.
Hearing Lucy do this, can I come over and attempt to give my hand with trying to find that lockbox?
Okay. Could you roll with advantage? Any investigation check with advantage, then, please.
18.
As you are stood digging around every bare patch around the camp area, you stand on Het's bedding towards the end of it, near the foot. And your foot strikes something hard. You pull back the sleeping bag, and you just see the brim of what looks like something wood with a bit of brass on the side.
I think I found it.
You begin to dig, and you find a lockbox. What do you
Try
like?
the key. Try the key, see if it works.
The key fits.
Turn the key
You turn the key.
and brace for an explosion. Open the lockbox.
Did you do that safely?
He's remembering was it the goblin trap with the turkey? So he's just bracing.
Could you do a dex save, please?
Yeah.
Just imagine Lucy opening it and ducking.
8.
Oh dear. You take
Lucy
9.
gets-
As you open it, you get sprayed with acid, and you take 9 acid damage.
Find my eyes were shut because I was bracing myself.
Below the trigger mechanism is a large bag of coins. 600 gold pieces, to be precise.
into the group, Kitty.
That is that.
How big's the lockbox?
Be about 12 centimeters by 12 inches by 8 inches by 8 inches again, I guess. It's like curved. It's got a curved lid.
Okay. I shall also put that in the pants
Okay.
with the key.
Cool. The acid trap is spent, I would say.
Yep.
But you can refill it if you have a vial of acid.
Yep. Cool.
So.
And with that, I'm going to have to go.
Cool.
Go for the next show.
Yeah, so at which point I'm assuming you that start heading back to Dragonsclaw. And we'll call it a day for the week.
We travel and roll, our intentions are